Cincinnati just made a move, and it's one that could shift things offensively. The Bengals are signing tight end Noah Fant, a former first-round pick with serious athletic upside. Once a standout with the Broncos and later with the Seahawks, Fant now brings his speed and mismatch potential to Joe Burrow's arsenal. Before we get into how this signing could shake things up in Cincinnati, if you're a real Bengals fan, don't miss a single move this team makes. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss breaking Bengals news, game previews, and real-time updates all season long. Let's stay locked in together. Now let's talk about the signing. Fant was taken 20th overall in the 2019 NFL Draft after a strong college career at Iowa. He flashed serious potential in Denver, especially early on, showing off elite athletic traits and route running for a tight end. And while his production dipped a bit in Seattle, it's clear the talent's still there. The real question now, what does this mean for the Bengals' offense? Noah Fant wasn't just some average add-on in a trade. He was a key piece of that massive Russell Wilson deal that flipped the NFL landscape. And now, he lands in Cincinnati, giving Joe Burrow one more dangerous target to work with. Fant brings size, speed, and experience. This is a guy who was first-team All-Big Ten back in 2018 and made the NFL All-Rookie team right out of college. That kind of pedigree doesn't just disappear. It just needs the right system. And this might be the perfect fit. Let's be honest. The Bengals' wide receiver room is already a nightmare for defenses. Higgins, Jamar Chase, young guys like Jermaine Burton, Andre Iosivas, and Charlie Jones making waves in camp. And now you drop in a tight end who can stretch the seam and win in the red zone? That's a problem for everybody else. The Bengals already had Mike Gesicki and Drew Sample, but Fant brings a different gear. He's not just a body. He's a weapon. This tight end room just went from solid to straight-up dangerous. Now, some fans might question the move. Why go get a tight end when O-line depth is still a concern? Here's the thing. Great teams don't just plug holes. They stack talent. And with Fant on board, the Bengals are better today than they were yesterday. Simple as that. When you think of Noah Fant, one thing should immediately come to mind. YAC, yards after the catch. That's something the Bengals' tight end room has been missing. Sure, Mike Gesicki offers some burst, but outside of him, there hasn't been a true run after the catch threat at that position. Fant changes that instantly. Joe Burrow thrives with players who can create after the catch. Just look at what Jamar Chase does with the ball in his hands. Now imagine having that kind of explosiveness from your tight end. Fant is built for it 6'4", 250 pounds, but he moves like a wide receiver. And when the Bengals get inside the 20, he becomes another red zone weapon defenses have to account for. Of course, Higgins and Chase are always going to demand attention near the goal line. But now you add a guy like Fant who can body up a linebacker or slip past a safety. That's a problem. Now sure, critics will point out his blocking or lack of it. And that's fair. Fant isn't going to be a Drew Sample style inline bruiser. He's not out there moving defensive ends. But let's be real. That's not why Cincinnati brought him in. This move is about giving Burrow one more mismatch, one more outlet, one more reason for defenses to lose sleep. Let's be real. Noah Fant isn't here to block. That's not his game. Yes, he has the size to develop in that area, and you hope he improves. But for now, the Bengals know exactly what they're getting. A move tight end, built more like a receiver than an inline mauler. The blocking load? That'll fall on guys like Drew Sample, who's carved out his role doing the dirty work. As for the rest of the room, things just got real competitive. You've got names like Granderson, a fringe guy who could stick around if the Bengals carry 4 or 5 tight ends. But the biggest wild card in all of this is Tanner Hudson. Hudson's had some bright spots in Cincinnati. He's shown solid hands and awareness in limited action. But fans haven't forgotten week 1 last season. when he fumbled on the goal line against the Patriots. A moment like that sticks, especially when the team missed the postseason by inches. Fair or not, Hudson now finds himself on the bubble, and Noah Fant's arrival only tightens the margin. With Mike Gesicki, Drew Sample, and Fant as near locks, there might only be one more spot left. Maybe two, if Cincinnati rolls heavy at the position. Training camp reps are about to matter more than ever. There's another name in the mix that fans might have forgotten about: Tanner McLachlan. The Bengals took a flyer on him out of Arizona last year, hoping to keep him hidden from other teams by locking him into a roster spot. They feared he wouldn't clear waivers if placed on the practice squad, and for good reason. His upside as a pass-catching tight end caught the staff's eye. But let's be honest, he didn't show much in year one. Just 2 games played. No real impact. That's not going to cut it this year. Not with Noah Fant added and the tight end room getting crowded. This preseason is everything for McLachlan. If he doesn't flash, and fast, he's likely the odd man out. Roster spots aren't handed out in Cincinnati, especially not with this level of competition. Then there's Cam Granderson, another under-the-radar guy who signed a 1-year deal this offseason. Quiet, consistent, and reliable. He's played his role well when called upon. And don't forget, Zach Taylor has built a culture that embraces undrafted talent. If you're overlooked elsewhere, Cincinnati might just give you a real shot, but only if you earn it. With Fant, Gesicki, and Sample locked in, the final 1 to 2 spots are wide open. The tight end battle might be one of the most underrated position fights in training camp, and someone who made noise last season is almost certainly going to be left off the final 53. Once again, the Bengals walk away better today than they were yesterday, and that matters. Adding Noah Fant wasn't just a random move. This was strategic. Fant had multiple teams reaching out the moment Seattle let him go. But he chose Cincinnati, and honestly, it makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't a tight end want to catch passes from Joe Burrow? Burrow has built a reputation for making tight ends look good, and more importantly, getting them paid. CJ, Uzoma, Hayden Hurst, and now Mike Gesicki have all benefited from being part of this offense. Noah Fant saw the trend and jumped on it. But it's not just about the quarterback. It's about everything else surrounding him. Zach Taylor's scheme, the elite receiver room with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, emerging weapons like Yoshi and Charlie Jones, and a run game led by Chase Brown. This is an offense that can stretch the field, dominate matchups, and create space underneath, which is perfect for a player like Fant. This move isn't just about star power. It's about smart depth. It's about keeping this team dangerous and multiple on offense. The kind of move contenders make quietly, and opponents realize too late. Fant gives Cincinnati another threat, another chess piece, another reason to believe the Bengals are going all in again. And if this is just the beginning, expect another move soon. There are times when a team makes a move that turns heads, not because it was necessary, but because it made them even more dangerous. That's exactly what happened with Cincinnati's decision to sign Noah Fant. Some might have thought the Bengals didn't need to touch the tight end room. But when a talent like Fant becomes available, and when he wants to be here, you don't wait around. The visit went great. The staff loved him. And now he's wearing stripes. And yes, it's fair to say there are other areas where this team could still improve. The offensive line? There are questions. We've seen it before. Training camp rolls around, and the defensive front starts dominating. Burrow and Browning haven't had clean pockets, and it's becoming a yearly concern. It's hard to ignore. The back end of the defense could use another steady presence too, but those are separate conversations. For today, let's stay focused on what matters. The Bengals got better. They landed an athletic, experienced tight end who fits their offense perfectly. They beat out other teams to do it, and they did it without giving up a single asset. It's a win. Straight up. As camp rolls forward, don't be surprised if this move becomes a turning point. the kind that sets the tone for a loaded offense looking to make one more run at a Super Bowl. Because today, July 31st, the Cincinnati Bengals are stronger than they were the day before.